Okay, guys, we're in Embargo, please, for 10:30 on Sunday evening. Thank you.
Hi Pep, about that question about Aguero, if the club is so certain that he's not going to be for sale, you've said very often that he features in your plans. Why do you think then that Sergio has that doubt that the club may yet sell him? Why does he feel that way?
He?
Yeah.
I don't think he feels that.
He was pretty clear. When he said on Sunday.
No, he wasn't.
The suggestion was clear. No. He said at the end of the season we'll see what the club want to do with me. If he's not sure, but you've obviously been
Sergio knows Sergio knows the intention of his manager and the club. I don't want to sell him. I would like to stay here for a long time until he decides. I said many times. The reason why they played the last 2 games is because Leroy, Gabriel and Raj, they play amazing. That is the only reason why. So if I can change the model and play, of course, all 4, but I am a guy who likes to play with midfield players to have a more control. It's the only reason why. The only reason why is because if what I feel now is Leroy doesn't play, will be unfair. If Gabriel doesn't play, will be unfair, and if Rice doesn't play, will be unfair. That is the only reason why. There's no any other ones.
And you're confident he knows that. He knows that's the reason.
You cannot imagine how good my players they are. I have a lot of confidence in all of them. All of them. The only reason I cannot play, not the case with Sergio, for the other ones is the only one is because they play 11. You have in that moment 21 players in the squad, 21, and play 11. So you have one player injured, is Gundo. The other one they are fit, good weight, good mood. So that is the only problem. No more. He remains a top player, remains an important player for us to achieve our goals. I don't have doubts about that.
You've said that it will be Sergio's decision whether he does leave the club or not. Are you worried that if he struggles for games from now until the end of the season, that he might decide that his future's better off elsewhere?
I don't know. I think I was so clear with Sergio. It was 7 games ban. We miss him a lot. Every time was playing. Every time was fit. He played. He played a good performance. He played sometimes not. He was all the time there. I know his level. I know he has done in that club. The only reason was 3 guys. The other one played good, and I decided to play with them. That is the only reason why. So what happened at the end of the season, I don't know. I don't know. At the intention of the club, my intention, of course, I know how difficult it is to find a good top scorer. The guys who descend of the goal is one of them. I would like to remain, but I don't know what's going to happen. Even in my career, I don't know what happened at the end of the season. So I don't know. But I think it was clear every time we spoke with Sergio from the beginning. From the beginning, I know he's trying. I know against Tottenham. I know how much he fight. I know how many chances he had. So I know. But in that moment, for the reason at Crystal Palace, I see 3 guys in front with 20 yards goals in average, with a high intensity, and I said, wow, I like what they do in the last game, and I give you a little more continuity. That is what the reason why. And only my advice for all the players is keep going, guys. Keep going, fight, and show me again how good you are.
Just another quick one. You said about Philip Lahm could play 10 different positions, and you were talking about Fernandinho maybe showing you they could do similar here. Are there any players in the squad that you've seen in the last 6 months that you believe could play in a number of different positions?
Not too many. In Bayern Munich was just one, was that player. So here Fernandinho can do that. Fernandinho can play fullback, central defender, holding midfield, attacking midfielder. I don't know, wingers, but a striker. But in the other positions can do that. So it's not too many. It's difficult to find it.
Pep, can I just ask you about Jack Wilshere? And do you remember when he first broke onto the scene at Arsenal? How do you assess his career? And are you slightly puzzled that it hasn't quite gone? The young player he was, he looked like he was going to be sort of.
I remember I was in Barcelona in that period. We played Champions League against Arsenal team, and it was a massive impression when he came. He arrived in the high level. I know the problem with Jack Wilshere was just one, so the injuries. So when he's going to take care, he could not take care. So to be lucky to play regularly for one season, he's going to be back one of the best midfield players in England by far. So he's a quality, he's smart, he's has a special quality, who has the ball, have the quality to dribbling in a holding midfielders and attacking central defenders. It's not easy to do that. He's a little bit like Dembele from Tottenham. So they have the quality to pass, but immediately 10 meters on the ball, and that destroy all the defensive structures in the wall. And he has the quality. So I'm happy. Like a football, I'm so happy he's back. And he now is playing regularly, and hopefully on Monday can play.
Do you think that's what the loan move was? It was a good decision for him to go out on loan?
That's a good question to him.
Yeah.
But I think in that situation, for example, Arsenal, right now they have, if whether he would be fit, he would be still playing now. So, but it was, I think it was so important for him. It's again, it's a question for him, but it's important for him to be able to play week after week.
Jennifer, please.
Hi, Pep. You say you've been pleased with the performances in recent weeks. Do you think you've now found the right formation for City to go forward to next season be much closer for the title?
For the 11 players?
Yes.
No, it's
Not
important.
necessarily the players, as in the formation.
The way-
this system. that you play.
The way they play. Yeah, it's a normal system I used in the almost all my career. I changed a little bit when I put one special striker. It was before winger in a striker in Barcelona, but always I try to use this system. But I think it's a flexible. It depends the quality of my players. But I feel comfortable in that way. I feel comfortable, but you never know because always the system depends of the performance from the players. When you want to play in one, for example, I want to like to play the wingers wide and high, and every time they receive the ball, they don't dribble. You have to change the way to play because there's no sense. But in that moment when Rice receives the ball and Herrera receives the ball, they have the ability to dribbling one against one or one against two by line crosses. So that times you can play. But if, for example, that doesn't happen, I have to change in that way. For example, in a cup against West Ham, we play in Diamond for Fortuna, play quite good because we were we had more people in the box. So at the end is a way we wanted to play, to build up, to be creative, to try to dominate the game, to propose something. Don't expect not only what the opponent is going to do, to propose something and to make a high pressing. That means a lot for me in terms they want to win the game, because the desire to win the game, to regain the game means a lot for me in terms why the guys want to win the game. And the basics, the fundamentals will remain the same. So I thought even in the wrong period here, that season when we was 5 or 6 games without the winnings and all the people have to change absolutely everything, I said, that's what I feel. And of course now we are talking about the last games. It's good because we scored in the 92nd. When that is going to happen, it will be a big mess here. And in other games we played wrong. For example, against Tottenham or against Swansea, we didn't win. So sometimes football, it's like this. But I'm comfortable in the way we are going to play and the dynamic we play in the last games.
You spoke very glowingly of Philipp Lahm then, in terms of his influence on you personally. Has there been a character like that at City since you've come here?
Well, give me a little bit more time. So,
Fernandinho.
yeah, I said to him, speak more to me, please. But they're shy. They are quiet guys. So give him more time. But I'm not worried. Everyone is like everyone. So with Philip, with Xabi Alonso, for example, in Munich, was two guys who speak a lot about football tactics, what is their vision on the field, what they believe, what they feel there in that way and the other way. Would think we could speak when I have doubts. I could speak with them. What do you believe? You will make it in that way. The opponents make that kind of things. We do that, and it was a pleasure. We speak with both of them about that, and I think sooner or later, because they have to know me what I want, that is going to happen here as well. I am pretty sure of that.
Pep, what's the plan with Vincent Kompany? He hasn't played the last 2 games, having come back at Palace. You have to be very careful with him, is that?
No, it's not about that. I think he's fit. Now I'm so happy because it's 3 or 4 weeks he's training regularly. The reason why they didn't play like Nico Tamendi against Swansea, because we knew that Llorente is a striker, but is going to mark in Yaya Touré. So our central defenders will be free without the ball. And we needed the two guys with good build-up. On the left side, Kolarov is really good for the passes in the other side, the passes inside. And Jonas Stones had the quality to make the build-up, the 2-1. That was the reason why, when the games where you need more physical in the box, we knew that in the first half we were going to defend far away on our box, so they are going to use not too much counter-attack. That's why we didn't, it was not necessary to central defenders in the box defending a lot of crosses. But of course, Vincent, I'm so delighted and happy he's back, because I know what he played, the game he played, how good he played, and of course we're going to use him in some special games.
Pep, in the last 3 games, you've played Raheem, Gabriel, and Leroy in that front three. How well suited are they to what you want from an attacking three in that formation?
Wow, they are so dynamic, all three, in the intention of the, for example, Leroy in the beginning was a little bit, I don't know where I am, and now without as well, the ball is, they are so aggressive without the ball in the pressure, so they don't have too much time to think about the central defenders. And all of them, they are so good moving, runs in behind, they are good in association between the lines, so I think it's 20 years old, all of them, 19, 20, 21, so the average 26, so they are so young, and in these 3 games, of course, they are going to come in important games, but for example, Rajis have experience as well, so Leroy played really good against Tottenham and against Arsenal, against really good teams. The impact from Gabriel was immediately, so of course we have to see it in the Champions League, but I think I'm confident. They are playing really well the last 3 games in many reasons.
Can you just talk a little bit about Gabriel's impact? You mentioned it there in terms of the off the field, what he's like in the dressing room. He seems, obviously, he's always kind of smiling, he's always very happy. What's he like?
Yeah, but I think Fernandez are making a really good job, because they are always with him and help him to translate something, and to be there is not easy for a young guy come here and sell in one city immediately during the season, and but in the game, you saw. So at the end, you have the same eyes like me. So you have seen what he have done until now in terms not just with the ball, without the ball, and of course it's a good news. So we're happy. So we're happy how he have done until now.
Hola, Pep, en anglès, te la faig. A couple of weeks ago, I asked you about the English managers, and if you thought that maybe Eddie Howe from Bournemouth is a little more playing in the modern way rather than the old school of the other ones. Now that you are facing Bournemouth on Monday, what do you think about it?
No, I'm not going to say Eddie is not. So we are born when we are born. We have the culture when we are born, and he's a English guy, but he's a who likes to play. So when we play here, they make a good build-up. They play real good with the wingers when play inside. The strikers move a lot. The runs in behind, and when Jack Wilshere have the ball and Arthur has the ball. So the fullbacks, for example, Smith and the other one, the left fullback, they have a lot of quality. For example, the fullback left, it was winger before, now fullback. So all of them, they have the quality to play. Now in the last games, okay, you didn't win too much games in the beginning, but remains a good team. So I know exactly what we have done against Arsenal, Liverpool, and other games, important games. So even against Tottenham, against Chelsea, Everton, the last game, losing 3-0 in the half-time. The second half, they changed the system 5-4, and they play good, real good, and they were there 3-2. And after, Everton is a team they don't need too many chances to score goals, and they are so clinical, especially with Lukaku and the other ones. And but they play good. They play good.
Hola, jo li faré en català, una llengua molt maca. M'agradaria saber si la competició, la Premier, la competició anglesa, li ha fet canviar el disseny d'entrenaments amb el dia a dia, no tant per no tindre vacances com va tenir a Alemanya durant un mes, sinó el disseny d'entrenament.
Sí, entrenem menys temps, potser una mica més curts, i estem treballant una mica més la força per evitar les lesions. Mai havia tingut, toquem fusta, mai havia tingut un any amb tan poques lesions musculars. He tingut una petita coseta amb el Sana i prou, la desgràcia del Gundogan, però no tenim lesions. Això demostra molt per part de la gent que tenim aquí, però bàsicament molt semblant. Perquè pel que he vist, per exemple, el mes de novembre, desembre, gener és dur, però després dels Boxing Days, si estàs fort del League One, és molt menys dur que Espanya, molt menys dur. Tens setmanes molt més llargues, el mes de gener i febrer Espanya és molt més dur que aquí, i el mes de desembre és molt més. Al final aquí jugues 20 equips igual que Espanya, 20 equips, i a la Copa hi ha 2 i aquí hi ha un partit. Aquí només hi ha una competició més, que és la League One, que si t'eliminen com nosaltres, doncs al final jugues quasi menys partits que Espanya. El que passa és igual la intensitat, el temps influeix molt, el temps és més fa més fred. No, menys no. Simplement vigilar una mica més la força, estem una mica més pendents, per qüestió climàtica, bàsicament.
I would like to know if the Premier League has made you change the way you do your training sessions in any way. We train less time here. We work more the force to try to avoid injuries. Luckily, I hadn't had a year with such less injuries like this one, besides the long injury with Ilkay. But basically, it's very similar what I've done in the past. I've realized that December and January here are very tough because of Boxing Day and a lot of games in such a short time. But after that, I think it's less hard than in Spain, for instance. And also, weather influences a lot, or a little bit, the training sessions. So we have to be careful with that as well.
Guys.